Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to Thrive, where I believe you were not created to survive, but to thrive. And if you change yourself, you can change your world. I am your host, Alex Sagat, and I'm excited today to get into another episode. Today, I want to talk to you from this title, How Much Do You Weigh? How much do you weigh? I want to talk about weight today. I'm not talking about physical weight. I want to talk to you about spiritual weight. I put it this way today. What makes up who you are? What makes up who you are? Or what are you made out of? Because that will determine your weight. What you are made out of and what makes up who you are will determine your weight. When people say your name, when people speak about us, when people make a reference to us, there's a weight to us. What I mean is that there's something weighty about our lives that is trustworthy. There's something about us that's reliable. I'm going to talk a little bit about that today in this episode. I think we have to be careful of our lives and what we're composed of spiritually, because if not, we can be empty. I'll give you an example. This last Christmas that we had, me and Diana put up our Christmas tree, and we have a fake one. I used to love putting up real trees. Diana convinced me to put up a fake tree several years ago, and it is a lot simpler. So we put up this tree, and what I don't like is seeing the pole underneath the tree. We put a skirt. The skirt was flat on the ground, and you can see the pole of the tree. So we thought about making it look like a little snow mountain underneath the tree. So we put these boxes underneath the skirt, raised up the skirt, and when you walked into our house, it looked like a beautiful small snow mountain underneath the Christmas tree. What people didn't know is that there was empty boxes underneath it. I share that example because I think some of us, if we're not careful, we can look like we're doing a whole bunch of things, yet we're full of empty boxes underneath. There's nothing weighty to our lives. When it comes to thriving, when it comes to leadership, when it comes to people that make a difference, let's be people with some weight to us. Let's not be empty. I remember in middle school, we had this one classmate that would always be lying. He was always absolutely lying. And I'll never forget, there was one other classmate that would always say, "You're full of it. You are full of it." And that phrase became ingrained in my mind. Don't be full of it, full of fluff, full of stuff that's not real, full of lies. If we're to be leaders who thrive, leaders who make a difference, if we're to be people that are used by God, let's not be full of it. Let's not be empty boxes. Let's make sure there is some weight to our lives. And I think in leadership, we can so often be running around, have a million emails that we need to respond to, texts that we are getting back to people on, people who are leading organizations, businesses, corporations, but yet we're full of it. And my problem or the danger that I see is that we can be busy yet empty. We can be busy yet empty. And I just think leaders need to be weighty people, people who are reliable, like I said, or trustworthy. And I'm going to share some of those characteristics that I believe should be a part of our life. Don't be empty. I'm glad that we're all serving. I'm glad that we're all busy. I'm glad that we're all doing a million different things. But I want more for us to have a good name, for us to have a good reputation, for us that when our name is mentioned, people know there's some good attached to that. There's some weight attached to that. And I do believe for that to exist, you need to be a person of character. Let's talk about character for a moment. We've all heard about this, but I think it's absolutely true and absolutely a good reminder to be people of character. Character makes up who you are. You can be a gifted person. We've heard about gifting a million different times. A gift will put you on a platform. A character will keep you there. Be a person of character. That when people speak about our name, they know you're a person of character. That when people reference you, they know you're a person of character. And I believe your character determines your weight. If we're talking about weight today, if we're talking about thriving, if we're going to be good people, whether it's a good husband, good mother, good wife, whether it's a good leader of an organization, if we're going to be people that weigh, we need to be people of character. What makes up our character? I'll give you a biblical reference of something that stands out to me when it comes out to weight and where I got this from. In the book of Daniel, Daniel is a character that is used by God, a man of God. He's taken as a young man from Jerusalem into Babylon, which is a wicked pagan nation. Daniel there has to be a man of God in the midst of all this lawlessness and godlessness. Daniel continues to be a man of character. One time there's a king who's having a feast. This is in Daniel chapter 5, and you can go back and read it. In the middle of this feast, this king is an evil king. A hand appears out of nowhere and writes some words on a wall. And these words are written, Mene Mene Tekel Parsin. Mene Mene Tekel Parsin. And I think it's just a fascinating story. And it's actually an eye-opening story. Go back and read it in Daniel chapter 5. They want to know what these words mean. After several different suggestions, they bring in Daniel, and Daniel is the one that understands, and he can solve the riddle. Obviously, it was the hand of God that wrote these words, Mene Mene Tekel Parsin, and Daniel is the one who gives the solution to the king. This is what's being written, and he says, Mene Mene, that means you're being numbered. Tekel, you're being weighed, and then Parsin, you're found wanting, and you're going to be divided. That's literally what it means. You've been numbered, weighed, and you're going to be divided. You've been weighed, and you've been found wanting, is what the Bible says. Meaning your weight is not enough to measure up with God. There's some things that are not true or valid in your life. There's a lot of emptiness in your life, and God was judging the king. The king had done some wicked things, and you were weighed. That third word, tekel, you've been weighed, and you've been found wanting. The truth is, I really believe we are going to be weighed, not our physical weight, our spiritual weight. We are going to be weighed, and God is looking at our life. I think the world values and weighs different things than God does. And so we need to be careful. If we're going to be people of character, that our weight is not made up based on what people think is valuable, but on what God thinks is valuable. I want to say that one more time. Make sure that your weight, who you are made up out of, what makes you, is not what the world finds valuable or weighty, but what God finds weighty. The world finds possessions, wealth, fame, success as the things that make you weighty. God does not weigh that. That does not weigh nothing to God. If that makes up your life, you're going to be found wanting. You're going to be empty. You're going to be like the empty boxes underneath our Christmas tree. Make sure that you're not just busy and empty. Make sure there's some character in your life. What makes up your weight? So as we finish this episode today and we think about our weight, I'm going to give you 7 character qualities that make up our weight. 7 character qualities that make up our weight. These 7 have been important in my own life. When I think about our leadership team, our pastoral team, when I think about the history of me being born and raised in church, I've seen some good, godly, incredible leaders that have some weight attached to them. They have a good reputation. They're used by God. Some of these 7 things made up their life. And so they've been instrumental in my own life. Today, no matter where you are, if you're going to be a leader that thrives, that doesn't just survive, that changes the world, I do believe these 7 character qualities can help us. Number 1, integrity. And I think we've all heard a ton about integrity. So this is a good reminder. It's a good reminder for my own life. Be a person of integrity. That means you are the same everywhere that you go. Daniel was in the midst of Babylon, yet he was the same person. He still prayed 3 times a day. He still served the Lord. He made sure he didn't get himself involved in some of the things he wasn't supposed to. He made sure he separated himself from certain things that were going to damage him or take away some weight from his character, from his reputation. Today, be a person of integrity. And I think that today you can begin again. It doesn't matter what you've done in your past. It doesn't matter what yesterday looked like. If you're going to be a leader who thrives, today, make sure there's integrity in your life. And if you need to get some accountability, if you need to get some people around you to help you in this area, do it. It is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of, because from today on, you're going to be a person, a leader who thrives in integrity. You're the same person. You speak the same in private and in public. You are the same person with family and friends that you are on a platform or leading or corporation or wherever you are a person of integrity. That adds weight to your life and my life. If you're going to be a person with character weight, get some integrity in your life. Be a person of integrity. Number 2, humility. Humility. There's something beautiful about humility. When I look at our team, when I look at the people around me, I want to work with humble people. I don't want to work with people that are ostentatious, that are arrogant. A lot of those people are empty boxes. A lot of people that talk the loudest are usually the ones that have the least. And so I tell our team all the time, don't be loud. Don't be the one that tries to get all the attention in a room. That's not cool. I don't believe God blesses that. I believe that God actually humbles those who exalt themselves, and he exalts those who humble themselves. And so today, if you want to be a person with some weight to your life, that when people think about you, that when people bring up your name, humility is going to add some weight. There's something beautiful. There's something attractive about humility. It attracts leaders. It attracts mentors. It attracts people that want to follow your lead. Get some humility in your life. And notice Daniel didn't run into the room saying, I got the answer. Hey, I heard there's something going on. He waited till he was called on. And I think that's something beautiful. Don't be a loud person. Don't be the one that thinks they know it all and you take no advice from nobody. You want some good weight to your life? Have some humility. Number 3, generosity. Generosity is absolutely a key to having a weighty life. I'll put it this way. I've had friends in my own life that were stingy, and amongst friends, we make fun of that friend, and he knows it. He's a stingy person. Nobody wants to hang out with a stingy person. That's not a good weight attached to your name. That's weightless. And I just don't mean with money. Don't be stingy with your words, with your encouragement. Don't be stingy with the gifts and talents that God has given you. Daniel entered this room, and as soon as God gave them the gift, the ability to interpret the words, he shared it with the king. He shared it with those around him. You are gifted. You are anointed. If you are going to thrive, be generous with what God has given you. Humility and generosity together, that will make you thrive. That'll make you thrive in rooms that perhaps other people cannot walk into. It's not because you're amazing and God, oh my God, but your gentleness, your humility, your generosity will open up doors for you. You want to thrive? You want to be a man of God, a woman of God? Have some generosity in your life. That you are generous with your words, you're generous with your heart, you're generous with your money. God blesses that. And I'm telling you, it will add some weight to your life. Number 4, honor. Honor. I think this is an absolutely important one. I've known people that only honor up, meaning they only honor their leaders. They only honor those who can do something for them. And I think that's not cool, and God does not bless that. You want some weight attached to your life? Start honoring everybody around you. Honor the people around you. Honor the people that God has entrusted you with. Honor your employees. Honor the people who serve you. Honor the team around you. You become a person of honor, God honors you. And there's some weight attached to that. When people reference you, when people talk about you, they know you're a person of honor. They know you're a person that speaks well. They know you're a person that's going to treat them well. They know that you're a person that's going to highlight them, uplift them. And I do believe that adds some weight to your life. You're a person of honor. Today, don't be a person of dishonor, that you speak negative about employees, you speak negative about staff members. No, be a person of honor. And I do think God blesses that. I'm not going to say that you don't have negative things to say. No, but if you do, handle those things in an honorable way. Even that shows that you're a person of honor. And that adds weight to our life. When people find out that you're the type that speaks bad about people behind their back, you say things not to people's face, that's dishonor. That takes away from your weight. Be a person of honor. Number 5, if you want to be a leader who thrives, a leader with some weight, have some values. Have some values. Have some values in your life that will not be broken by money opportunities, by doors that are opened. Don't compromise on your values. Me and my wife were actually talking about this several days ago. We could have compromised in different areas. We were talking about things that even before we got married, in our own single life in the past, money opportunities that we had, different doors that we could have gone down, job opportunities that if we compromised on certain things, we probably wouldn't be here today. It might have looked like success to the world, but I know it was empty boxes. If I would have compromised on some of my principles and values, I might have had maybe more money. I might have had more whatever, but it was empty. No, I want some weight to my name. I want some weight to my life. And not only when people talk about me, when God looks at me, I want it to be weighty. And so I want to be a person of values. Write some values down. What are some things you're not going to compromise of? And I think if you attach some values to your life, that's going to bring some weight to your life. Hey, I know this person. This is a person with values. God looks at that and blesses that. Number 6, we're almost done. Number 6, trustworthy. You're a person that's trustworthy. I think that's absolutely beautiful. A person that God can trust. Let your yes be yes and your no be no. Be reliable. Be a person that's trustworthy. That adds so much weight to our life. Again, I'm not talking about physical weight. I'm talking about spiritual weight, character weight. If you want to be a person of character, of weight, if you want to be a leader who thrives, be a trustworthy person. Work on that. That's a skill I've been working on. I'm still working on. I want to be trustworthy to God. I want to be trustworthy to the people around me. So I'm going to be a person that's disciplined. I'm going to be a person of my word. I'm going to let my yes be yes and my no be no. Be a person that's trustworthy. And I think God will absolutely honor that. And then number 7, to finish, be a person that's honest. I think honesty is absolutely vital. You want some weight to your life, be a person that's honest. And I just think that means, again, it goes back to integrity, goes back to trustworthiness. It's a way to wrap it all up. You are who you are. You're an honest person. You're not a dishonest person. What you say is truth. What you do is truth. God blesses that. You are honest. Daniel was in the room with this king who could literally take his life, and he could lie at the words that are being written. He could lie to the queen. He could lie to the king. He could lie to his friends around him. But he's a man who, in the midst of everything, is going to be honest. The king was dishonest. The king was evil. The king did wicked things, and he was weighed and found wanting. That would be sad. God's going to weigh us out. As we close this out, God's going to weigh your life and my life. He's weighing us out right now. He's weighing your life. Are you found wanting? Are you a person with weight attached to your name? People know you. God knows you. There's a good reputation. You're honest. You're trustworthy. There's integrity, generosity. What makes up who you are? If you're going to be a leader, a man or a woman that thrives, have some character, have some qualities. I shared some. I think you could develop more in your own personal life. Write some down. What makes you a weighty person of character? Because today, I really believe you were not created to survive, but to thrive. And if you change yourself, you can change your world.